Go to the other one.
So the other one?
859. 859, 130.
I did a public hearing and set another meeting project.
Okay. Go to the other
Do
one.
you want me to go to the other one?
Yes, so we're live on Zoom, everybody.
All right. You ready?
Let me turn the volume on.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, as high as it can go.
I would like to call the public hearing to order. And Ally, would you please read the notice?
Yes, notice is hereby given that a public hearing pursuant to Article 18-A of the New York State General Municipal Law will be held by the counties of Warren and Washington Industrial Development Agency on the 21st day of November 2022 at 4 p.m. local time in the boardroom at the Warren County Municipal Center located at 1340 State Route 9, Lake George, Town of Queensbury, New York, 12845. CVE US E18 Quaker LLC, a limited liability company established pursuant to the laws of the state of New York, having an address of 109 West 27th Street, Floor 8, New York, New York, has requested that the agency provide financial assistance in the form of a partial real property tax abatement, a mortgage recording tax exemption, and a sales tax abatement regarding a certain project to consist of the acquisition by the agency of a leasehold interest in certain real properties located at 53 Quaker Ridge Boulevard in the town of Queensbury, County of Warren, New York, and being known as tax map parcel number 303.11-1 4.1, the planning, design, construction, operation, and maintenance by the company of a 5-megawatt AC community solar facility, the acquisition of an installation in and around the land and improvements by the company of machinery, equipment, fixtures, and other items of tangible personal property, entering into a straight lease transaction pursuant to which the agency will retain a leasehold interest in the facility for a period of time and sublease such interest in the facility back to the company, all pursuant to Title I of Article 18-A of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York, Chapter 862 of the laws of 1971 of the State of New York as amended. The agency may be providing financial assistance with respect to the project in the form of sales tax exemptions related to the construction and equipping of the project facility, a mortgage recording tax exemption on qualifying mortgages, and a payment in lieu of taxes, which are consistent with the policies of the agency. Should other financial assistance be requested, it shall be consistent with the policies of the agency. A representative of the agency will be in attendance at the above stated time and place to hear and accept comments from all persons with views in favor of or opposed to the granting of financial assistance contemplated by the agency or the location or nature of the facility. The application of the company is available for public inspection during normal business hours at the offices of the agency located at 5 Warren Street, Glens Falls, New York, 12801. Minutes of the hearing will be made available to all necessary parties. The public hearing may also be accessed via Zoom per below instructions. And then the Zoom instructions.
Thank you, Ally. So I see that Carson has joined us. Carson's the representative of CVE. Carson, could you please give us an overall view of your project?
Sure. Great to see the IDA tonight. I'm Carson Wynand, Senior Business Developer with CVE, headquartered out of New York City. This project is located in the town of Queensbury. We've been working on this project for about 2 years. It's set to be a 5-megawatt AC community solar farm. CVE is set to purchase the land early next year, early 2023 in January or February. We will purchase the land. We've received positive interconnection results from National Grid. We've received full zoning approvals from the town. And we're in the process of now wrapping up, the post-permit items, such as a pilot here tonight, putting a decommissioning bond in place with the town and transitioning into the financing and the construction of the project. Happy to give more information if you'd like.
So at this point, I'll just open up for the members or anyone who wants to ask any questions or comments. So any questions or comments? So as my normal practice, we will keep the public hearing open for a little bit. So if we hear anything or get anything back, or anyone joins late and has any questions or comments. And I get a note that while we're sitting here, it'd be nice to go over the benefits for the record. So if someone can take the benefits, do you have the benefits with you? Chuck?
I do. You're referring to the benefits in the board package?
Correct.
Yes. So last Thursday, Ally sent out the latest calculation for the benefits. The pilot payments are estimated to be $562,000 versus the regularly assessed value in the traditional way, which would be $3.1 million. So there is a net exemption of $2.5 million. There are estimated mortgage tax savings of $162,844 based upon the estimated borrowings at the 1.25% exemption rate. And then on the sales tax savings, the estimate is $292,500, and that's only the county 3%. Does not include the state because the state taxes are already exempt. Any question about the benefits? Mr. Chairman?
Thank you.
School is fine.
We sent out notifications to both the school and notifications out to the school, the county and the town. And when we talked to the school, they had no issues with it. We didn't receive any feedback from Queensbury or the county.
Any idea of what the adjusted land basis will be?
We do not. I think that the assessor will have to see the contract to sale just to make that decision at this point. We did ask her, that's why we put it out there. We thought that we needed to pay attention to what that was because this is a big change for use and a couple other things. So.
And that will affect the numbers that were just read off.
Right, and then the resolution, it says estimated for that purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mike.
just to keep it interesting, I'm not in favor of this. There's a lot of state and federal incentives that are provided for these types of installations. I don't see any significant benefit to the community on this. And if I look at the total benefits that are provided, they're well over $3 million, I believe, almost $3 million, $2.9 million out of a total $14 million project. That's just under 20% of the total project cost that they're going to be saving. And I think that's a little excessive for this, but I recognize that many of the board members have different feelings about this. I'm just thrilled about being able to get this kind of benefit.
So one of the benefits that is here, and I think Carson can explain a lot better than I can, is because it's a community solar project. You can take it from there, Carson. You know the law much better than I do, and
Sure. So, yes, there are some benefits from this project. It's a community solar project, so there'd be about 1,000 subscribers to this specific project, and they would receive 10% discounts on their energy, on their national grid utility bills every month for the next 25 years. If you total that up, it's over 4 million in energy savings for those 1,000 customers. Beyond that, the pilot payment, we're going to be paying over, once you add up special district taxes, land taxes, and the pilot payment for the 25-year useful life of this facility, we would be paying over $1 million in taxes is my estimate. And that gets split between the school, the county, the town. The land taxes will increase. We're turning a vacant site into a commercial use. We'll pay those taxes in full. We'll pay the special district taxes in full. And then, of course, the clean energy. So this will produce about 9 million kilowatt hours of clean energy per year for the next 25 years. That's the equivalent of displacing about 10,000 cars from the road. And that's why the state of New York is so aggressive in their green incentives and their programs and their goals. And why we're able to do this in the first place is because of that key component right there, the clean green energy that's being produced.
so one other thing, Carson, maybe I've got the wrong program, but those 1,000 people are going to receive the benefits.
Correct.
Aren't those targeted to low income people?
Correct. Correct. Yep. So those will be low income, which is if you earn 80% or less than the state average income, you qualify as low income. And technically it can be anybody in National Grid. So that's upstate New York. But, we try to focus our customer acquisition as close to the project as possible.
I would like to point out everything, the state is going through a conversion of how solar projects are rated, not rated by property value anymore, but rated like we are. We are rating towards a megawatt. And so it's a little bit of a misnomer, the comparison, what's there. In terms of that, there are 3 formulas all based on right now in the state, all based on calculating the assessment at megawatts and not at what we normally take an assessment of real property for the improvements to the property.
And may I ask Carson another question? Carson, this land, can you describe this land and the nature of the land for development?
Yes, it's wooded and hilly in some areas. I believe it's about 80 acres. We're probably impacting half of that. There's a portion to the north that's state wetlands that we're avoiding. It's
the end of the runway at the airport, correct?
Correct. And it's just south of the county runway.
So point being is land that is otherwise difficult to develop.
Correct. And technically landlocked. We're getting an easement across another parcel for our access road. Yep. It's
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, Mike.
Just put it in perspective. $1 million worth of taxes over 25 years is 40,000 a year. I have a 2,000 square foot, less than 2,000 square foot ranch in Queensbury. And I pay about a quarter of that. But the value of my property is nowhere near 25% of the value of this endeavor. So I just look at it and saying, Yes, there's some benefits here. But I think they're a little excessive for what's happening. So I haven't really changed my mind about this. I do recognize the benefits. But if you look as a taxpayer in the community that this is going into, I think this is, if the public looks at it like I do, they might have similar feelings. But there's no one here to chime in, so it'll be just up to me.
I appreciate that, and people were invited to come. Especially in both all the taxing jurisdictions. So,
Yeah,
okay,
so this project is part of a 13 project portfolio in upstate New York for CVE that we've been working on for the past 2 to 3 years. That portfolio totals 72 megawatts. And we've secured IDA benefits at the majority of those. You know, sales tax, mortgage tax, pilot. So would hope to do the same here.
so we're going to start our CDC meeting. I'm going to leave the public hearing open for at least until the time we get done with the CDC meeting, or until the time when we call a vote on the project. In case someone chimes in because they were late or something else like that. So at this point, I will call the CDC meeting to order, which is going to be fairly quick. We only have a couple items on the agenda. Ally, you want to take roll
Craig
call?
Leggett,
Here.
Tim Robinson.
Here.
Mike Wild,
Here.
Jenny Sullivan. Here. Juan Gonzalez.
Here.
Mary King. Here. Nick Caimano.
Yes.
Dave O'Brien.
Here.
Okay, Brian Campbell and Dan Bruno are absent. We do have a quorum.
Thanks for coming, Jenny. I know there's some question whether you're going to make it or not, so. First order of business is a motion to approve the minutes of the October 17th CDC board meeting. Motion by Nick. Do I have a second? Second by Juan. Any omissions, corrections? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Payables, we have one payable of $555, which is reimbursable. That was the Glenwood Highland for the work done to refinance their bond. So need a motion to pay the payables.
Awesome.
Motion by Tim, second by Nick. I guess we need a roll call on this.
Craig Leggett,
What were these payables for? And is this the,
This is a legal bill for FMBF.
okay,
We're doing the CDC meeting first.
yeah, it just has switched to that, so I'm trying to catch up there. Yes.
Tim Robinson,
Yes.
Mike Wild,
Yes.
Jenny Sullivan. Juan Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mary King. Yes. Nick Caimano.
Yes.
Dave O'Brien.
Yes. So everyone has heard that we received our $2 million payment to the CDC from the CHPE project. We are proposing to transfer the amount of money that the IDA put out for taxes to cover the bill to make sure we had clear title of that building. Well, I am suggesting that we transfer $1,238,240 to the IDA to compensate it for making that payment. This is considered economic development in terms of the park, so I would open the request a motion to do that, approve the grant resolution and authorize me to pay it and make that transfer.
So,
Motion by Mary, second by Craig. Discussion.
I see on the IDA, we still have a balance on loans. Has that been paid? or-
That's been paid.
Okay, it's just not showing up on October statement.
October statement. We didn't pay it until the first or the second. I don't remember which day it was.
Second.
Hearing none, I'll ask for a roll call vote on this.
Craig Leggett,
Yeah.
Tim Robinson, Mike Wild,
Yes.
Jenny Sullivan.
Yeah.
Juan Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mary King,
Yes.
Nick Caimano.
Yes.
Dave O'Brien.
Yes. So I got a question. Terry Ross tried to sign in. And she got the meeting says the host has another meeting in progress. So since we have it open, of Terry. I'll see if Kara can send that information to Terry.
I can help.
I was just able to get Mary signed in, so it just took a minute ago.
There's 2 invitations out there, remember? Well, push it to them.
Kara's not one.
Well,
There she is.
There she is.
There's, can you help transfer the information to her?
I don't know what. Because John Straw messaged too. He said that. I don't know what he's doing, but he said he can't get in through a PDF.
All right. Well, I still have the public hearing open, so if they can get the information and get in, I'd appreciate it. I don't know why they got different.
It looks like there's a Zoom for the public hearing and a separate Zoom for the CDC and IDA meeting, but everybody's in the CDC and IDA meeting. So the public hearing one, no one's on it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what I was thinking, if that's what happened. If they went through the one that's in the notice, but we didn't log into that one for the public hearing.
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
So we're on the CVE public hearing. I is the board.
Mhm.
Okay, so John sent it to me, Mike. And Jim Sitbottom. I'll send it to Terry.
I just sent Terry the meeting invitation.
I think it's the right, I think it's the right link, that the one that was in the meeting invite.
That's what I used on the meeting invite.
Same one I used. You have that? Ally, do you have that?
Which one? This one?
The one we're in?
But was this the one that was in the paper?
No, but that's the one that everybody's on right now.
Well, the one that we do for the hearing needs to be the one that was published in the paper.
But right now we're in the CDC meeting.
Okay, but for the public hearing, were we in a different Zoom?
No, that's the one I logged into because it's separate. I just went by up here, so I just logged into this one. So what do we do, boss?
Do we go to the other meeting?
Well, they should be logging into this meeting now would be my guess, but because we just sent them the information. But but there's 2 different Zooms. There's one for the public hearing and one for the meeting.
John Stroh and Terry have just joined.
Yeah,
I have to see if I can see if that's what it was, or if they just had an issue getting in. I don't know. I have to see what the notice says.
there we go.
Hi, John. Hi, Terry. Sorry for the confusion.
Yeah, well, we were there. Yeah, what Kara just sent worked. The others didn't work. All right, good.
Kara's just checking something out. Hi, John. Hi, Jerry.
So John and Terry, I wanted to let you guys know it's Mike, that I'm not in support of this project. Maybe this is my little discussion earlier, but
Oh, what project is it? I got,
CVE solar.
didn't work. All right, good.
The public hearing is still open, by the way, just to. Kara's just checking something out.
Well, this is the Main Street one. We're having a meeting Wednesday on pilots for these solar things going forward. This is that Lucci project on Main Street, huh?
No, Lucci's done. This is
Oh.
about CVE solar,
Oh, it's the CVB solar.
CVE solar, correct.
All right, and didn't they put together a pilot? for these solar?
We have put together a pilot for them, yes. And you were sent out and noticed on this.
Main Street, huh?
And they went through the meeting, the Zoom link that was in the, for the.
What's the CVB solar? Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
So they went through the. Zoom
CVE pilot,
thing.
that's their pilot.
Yeah. I think-
correct,
I'll
correct.
I'll get the magnifying glass out.
No, we just need new eyes, John.
So they went through the.
CVE pilot,
I mean, technically. You should
pilot.
make sure it goes back out if you've got people attending by Zoom.
Correct. Correct.
I'll get the magnifying glass out.
So keep it open and then renotice that.
No, we just need new eyes, John. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So here's after getting the Terry, I heard you, I think. I can't hear you, Terry.
Terry, why don't you come down to my office?
So here's after getting the Terry, I heard you, I think.
The frustrations of modern technology.
I can't hear you, Terry. We should.
Terry, why don't you come down to my office?
You could do away with Zoom. You could do away with Zoom. And then you could do away with Zoom altogether.
Yeah, let's get to that point. Where's what? She's just using her computer.
Raise your hand.
That's what I figured, that's why I was heading out.
Put that on the chairman.
All right.
Isn't one enough?
Okay.
This is an argument for getting rid of Zoom altogether.
Oh, I already looked at it. I did hear, had you on YouTube, but I couldn't sign into the meeting. It kept saying that the meeting host had another meeting.
Okay, I don't know what happened, but we're gonna fix that. So while you're we have left the public hearing open. Here's a process we're gonna follow, just to be legal. And we will solicit any input today for the public hearing. We will keep the public hearing open for another date to renotice it, just for the confusion factor of whether or not what happened, just do it in there. So while you're here, I think Carson gave a explanation. Probably you heard the explanation at CVE. If you'd like, I would have Carson give another overview for his project.
I heard it, but John might want him to. I don't know.
We will keep the public hearing open for another date.
You're hearing an echo.
Confusion factor.
No, it's just somebody's not loud. No.
Someone's got their speaker going. Everyone else besides Ally has to keep their, turn their sound off.
I heard it, but John might want him to. I don't know.
You gotta turn your volume off completely.
Going audio on now. Because I didn't use your phone, you just can't have your computer on. If it's a joint audio, you're okay.
Yeah.
Because it thinks you're.
Got your speaker going. Everyone else besides Ally, still your computer is gonna pick up unless you got your volume completely off.
Oh, it's
Computer mode or phone.
screwed up.
No, it's computer connection.
Okay. Turn your volume off completely. All right, so John and Terry heard it. Do you want another explanation on the project, John?
Well, it's the 5 megawatt project that's down near the
Quaker Ridge.
Quaker Road Walmart.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it already.
Okay. So do you or Terry have any input for the public hearing? Any questions? All right, so
Well, I'm thinking that
you want
I don't know about John, but you may want to hold this decision until after the town meets, did you say on Wednesday?
Yeah.
About requiring pilots for all of the projects, because this pilot, what they're gonna pay in taxes is not what I don't think is what the town's gonna require if people weren't going through the IDA. I don't know about John, but you may want to.
Terry, we talked about before, the state's gonna come in and I don't know what has a court decision been made yet?
Oh, no. That doesn't have anything to do with this. I'm just saying that the town is gonna, it looks like they're gonna require that anybody that wants to do a solar project, because normally they would be exempt from taxes. I think they're going to ask for a portion of those taxes in a pilot.
Mhm.
And it looks to me from your printout that what the IDA wants to grant CVE is a lot less than what the town would require for them to pay.
Understood, but you were noticed in January, you had 60 days to respond. You did not respond, so
I wasn't noticed, but maybe somebody was noticed.
somebody was noticed and they never got a response.
Well, we're saying it now.
But
That what the IDA wants. And I don't think it would be fair. I'm only speaking for me. I don't think it would be fair for this pilot or this project to come in through the IDA and then every other project having to pay more in taxes than this project would. I wasn't noticed, but maybe somebody was noticed.
Somebody was noticed and they never got a
Well,
response.
we're saying it
Something
here.
like YouTube on, because there's the lag. That's what it is.
And I don't think it would be fair. I'm only speaking for me.
So does someone have YouTube on?
This pilot or this project to come in through the IDA.
I think maybe Ally needs to mute.
YouTube's not on here.
No,
Okay,
No.
let me
the
try.
sound is when it's echoing, it's coming from Ally.
all right, so what we want to do is kind of standardize because we've got this solar project, 2 at the airport. We got 1 proposed on French Mountain that you probably don't know about yet.
One
The
down
sound is when it's echoing.
1 down
by the
on
river.
in the Sipagagi site. and one on the Finch Brine landfill. So those are all forthcoming. So what we want to do is just have a pilot program that's pretty standardized. We got one proposed on French Mountain that you probably don't know about yet. One down on
We can't hear you.
in the Sipagagi site. And one on the Finch Brine landfill. So those are all forthcoming. So what we want to do is just have a pilot program that's pretty standardized. And we're having a meeting on that Wednesday. This Wednesday.
Okay. All right, well, because of the mix-up, we're gonna keep the public hearing open. We'll reset the date for a future date.
Well, that's appreciated. Thank you.
All right,
Got a date in mind?
Meeting on
I do not have a date.
We gotta do regular meeting.
this Wednesday.
Okay.
Are we still in the public hearing? or-
We're still in public hearing.
Yeah.
Still in public hearing. Okay,
I just-
Janice, Mike, do you think you'll have this resolved by this week?
Yeah, we're hoping Wednesday to have something that everyone's happy about and everyone knows about. It may or may not vary from what's being proposed here. I don't know, but we have, a meeting of the minds, and I'll be able to tell you if you invite me over for Thanksgiving dinner.
You're always welcome, Jen.
well, that's when we're doing the public hearing on Thanksgiving Day.
Everyone's happy about and everyone knows about.
Okay. All right,
Is the town looking at doing a per kilowatt charge?
But we have, a meeting.
That's another thing, are we?
Be able to
I thought you were doing a percentage. You want them to pay like half of what they would pay in taxes.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Something like that.
So it's not a per kilowatt.
well, that's when we're doing the public hearing on Thanksgiving
Because
Day.
we wouldn't be assessing it by per kilowatt.
Okay.
All right,
A lot of towns do the per kilowatt.
Yeah, but this is,
We'll work it
That's
out
nice.
Wednesday.
I think that's what the state's gonna standardize on.
Okay, so do you need us for anything else?
Nope,
All right,
all right, thank you.
okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And I'll be over around 2 PM, by the way.
Yeah, but this is.
Okay, that would be my second.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Yeah. Okay,
All right, back to the public hearing is going to remain open until such point as we reschedule it. Thank you. And renotice it, I'm sorry. So we've held the CDC meeting. Have we adjourned the CDC meeting?
That's not mentioned.
Okay. I will adjourn the CDC meeting.
You want to vote on, did we already vote on moving the grant money?
All right, take
Has
care.
been.
We did vote.
We did. Okay. Back to-
Good.
Gonna remain open. Any other business come before the CDC? Meeting adjourned. So we've held the CDC. Okay. Now call the IDA public hearing to order, or IDA meeting to order. So we got to confirm the quorum. We have the quorum,
Roll call.
please.
Craig Leggett,
Here.
Tim Robinson,
Before the,
Mike Wild,
Here.
Jenny Sullivan. Juan Gonzalez.
Here.
Mary King. Here. Nick Caimano.
Here.
Dave O'Brien.
Here,
Okay, we have a quorum. We have 8 out of 10.
good. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the October 17th board meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Craig, second by Juan. Any omissions or corrections? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Accounts, next order of business, accounts payable approval. You have in front of you the accounts payable. Good. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the October 17th board meeting. Someone here's got YouTube on. Moved by Craig, second by Juan.
That might be Terry's office.
All in favor?
Want me to?
Please, they left, so. Other business accounts payable, who we have in front of you, the accounts payable. Need a motion to approve the minutes? Okay. Does that work? Good. So you got in front of the accounts payable, would you please review the accounts payable? Any questions on the accounts payable? Roll call vote on approval, please.
Craig Leggett,
Yes.
Tim Robinson, Mike Wild,
Yes.
Jenny Sullivan. Yes. Juan Gonzalez,
Yes.
Mary King. Yes. Nick Caimano,
Yes. Yes.
Dave O'Brien,
Yes. Next is the financials. Someone going to review the financials with us, or? Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, happy to do it real quick. So these financials, Craig, as to your point earlier, these are as of October 31st. You'll notice on the balance sheet, the total cash of $290,000 rounding. You also notice on the liability side, the loan we have with Glenswall Central Bank at $599,727. So this balance sheet is before receiving the CHPE funds. If we now quickly go to the P&L and the summary, you'll see that our operating revenues are at $396,000 rounding. That is higher than our operating expenses at $810,000 rounding.
And those revenues were
Those revenues are primarily the project fees, the new project fees, which 270,000 of the 396,000 are the project fees. And then we have another 17,000 of the existing project. And then we also have the National Grid, the grant of rounding about $87,000.
And the National Grid grant that's we submitted for reimbursements. Is that it? That's a reimbursable grant.
Right. That was a bit of a timing issue. Right.
Yep.
Do we know the balance on that grant?
I do not.
I'm
on the
guessing,
National Grid.
yeah, no, not National Grids, that's all used up and reimbursed.
Okay.
The NBRC grant's the one you were talking about.
The 80,000.
80,000, that's all been reimbursed.
Oh, okay, so we're done with that.
We're done with that one.
Okay, that's last bit.
NBRC, I'm guessing there's $580,000 about left on that one.
The MBRC grant was for 600,000, and so far we have used $12,875 of it for LaBella. So subtract that, that's what we have left.
Okay. Any other questions on the financials? Need a motion to approve the financials by Tim, second by Juan. All in favor?
Aye.
Next item of business is acceptance of the CDC grant. I need a motion to accept the CDC grant. Motion by Craig, second
Second.
by Tim.
Make sure they pay us.
I think we'll arrange that. Roll call vote on it, please.
Craig Leggett,
Yes.
Tim Robinson.
Yes.
Mike Wild.
Yes.
Jenny Sullivan. Yes. Juan Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mary King. Yes. Nick Caimano.
Yes.
Dave O'Brien.
Yes. Carried. All right, Airport Industrial Park. Hold on a second, Carson. We'll be taking no action on your pilot today.
Yep.
Okay,
Alrighty.
so I think, well, we'll
Yep.
talk.
Well, we'll talk, and thanks for meeting with me tonight. See you at the next one.
Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving. New Leaf solar update. Chuck,
Yeah, we really do not have any update. We put this on the agenda last week, the anticipation of feedback from New Leaf on the proposed lease. We have not received the feedback, so we will carry this to the next meeting.
okay. Canal Side Energy Grant. Dan Bruno's not here, so. You want to fill in?
Sure. We have had 3 meetings on the master plan since our last board meeting. We had a meeting on October 24th at Labella to start establishing the parameters around the infrastructure improvements with water, sewer, stormwater plans, electricity and gas supply. Then we met on November 7th concerning the bridge. And we met with Washington County DPW, New York State DOT, and McFarland Johnson as a kickoff meeting for the bridge replacement, which is about a 3-year project. One of the actions we have here in the IDA is figuring out an alternative way to get on site while the bridge is under construction, and we're in the process of working on that. And then finally, on November 16th, we had another canal site master planning in Labella. And again, it was an expanded group of Labella experts, and we continue to sort of crystallize the master planning for all the various infrastructure improvements. So master planning is well underway, and every month we should probably have an update of what's happening. Any
Okay.
questions? Did I miss anything, Mr. Chairman?
Okay. Next was our electric lease update. Ours is in the small building, paying $22.50 rent a month. So that's that. Electrical RFP, you've got the electrical RFPs.
Sure, we have 2 RFPs, specific quotes that we received. We'd like board approval. I'll divide these into 2 different projects. One project, as you might recall, was to sub-meter electricity usage on site. We have 2 tenants right now, and we're going to be expanding to 3. We did an RFP about 2 weeks ago. We have 3 quotes. The highest quote was Gross Electric at $17,969. The second highest was DLC Electric at $14,750. And the lowest quote was from Our Electric for $11,245. So we will need, when we continue on to the other RFP before you resolution, or you want to do it separately?
I got to do it separately.
That's what I thought. So we need a resolution to be passed to allow us to award the contract to Our Electric for the submarine project. I'll make that.
Motion by Tim. Do I have a second?
Second, yeah.
Second by Mike. All in favor?
Right.
Carried. Nick wants a roll call.
Craig Leggett.
Yeah.
Tim Robinson. Mike Wild.
Yeah.
Vinnie Sullivan.
Yes.
Juan Gonzalez. Mary King. Yes. Nick Caimano.
Yeah.
Dave O'Brien.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to the second project, we call this a rail car conveyor power project. As background information, SMS Rail is using a conveyor to move grain from the rail car to trucks. There's currently a generator on site that we lease for rent for $1,600 per month. It's a cost that is shared between IDA and WCC. We decided to go and see how much it would cost to run power to the conveyor. And we have three quotes. The first quote, the highest quote was from Gross Electric at $69,000. Second was DLC Electric at $41,500. And the lowest quote from Our Electric was $24,462. When you compare that against the monthly rental, that means the payback would be about 15 months. So we are obviously proposing to move forward with this project in board resolution to award the contract to Our Electric.
So moved.
Moved by Craig. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mary King,
Discussion.
discussion.
Yeah, is the, I do have a question on that. Does the, other party help us pay?
Yes, there's two answers to that question. With WCC, everything is split. So we are the one to be doing the contract, so we'll be awarding this, but we will be reimbursed.
Do we have to get their agreement?
Right, because we're the lead here with Our Electric, so we have to have board resolution to enter into this contract. But we will get half of the reimbursement from WCC.
That's WCC aware.
Very well. They've been
They're on board.
on board step by step. And very supportive of the project, giving them the payback.
That was a wide range in prices. Yeah, the apples to apples.
Was it what? No, one proposal, we have brought them on site, they toured and saw the job. And I really can't answer as to why there's such a broad range.
Pretty bad.
Mike?
Chairman, are these underground? Is this under the slabs?
So what we'll be doing near the smaller of the two buildings, the building that we call the 25,000 square foot building, there's a panel right inside. We'll be taking electricity, 200 amps. This will be a three-phase, 480 volts, 200 amp power from right inside that building. We'll go up the inside of the building, out the wall onto a pole. And then a 40-foot pole, and then we'll put another one on the other side towards the rail. So we can do an aerial across, and then we'll do two more but shorter poles along the rail line to the conveyor. So yes, it's going to be aerial, and it'll be 4 poles, 2 40-footers and 2 30-footers.
Those challenges with height restrictions along there.
No, that's why we did the 40-foot poles. Instead of doing all 30-foot poles, we did the 40-foot to be higher over the roadway.
Somebody needs to bring a crane through there.
Well, also at CHBE, when we do the lay down, there'll be a lot of movement, materials in and out, so we didn't want anything to encumber on traffic.
All right, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Craig Leggett.
Yes.
Tim Robinson.
Yes.
Mike Wild,
Yes.
Ginny Sullivan. Yes. Juan Gonzalez,
Yes.
Mary King,
Yes.
Nick Caimano.
Yes.
Dave O'Brien.
Yes. All right, takes care of that. CB's on hold. The Fort William Henry Agency Fee Adjustment Resolution.
This resolution just modifies the resolution that we adopted at the last meeting with respect to the total project cost and the administrative fee. I had forgotten to include, right after we closed with them, they asked for an increase and we did that almost simultaneously with the closing. And I forgot to include that reference in the resolution last time. So they've already paid a portion of that administrative fee to us. So just the total administrative fee over the life of the project remains the same, but the amount that was included in the last resolution was about $6,000 more than, because they paid that $6,000 immediately after the closing. So it just amends that, so it doesn't, so it reflects with the payments that they actually make to us.
Nancy?
So, Vice Chair.
So.
Thank you, Chair. Wait.
So it went from 3 million to 6 million total. And,
Right.
yes,
And so previously, the figure, total project cost was a little under the 3 million amount, and they paid an additional $6,000 almost immediately after closing. We closed with them and then they said, oh, our numbers aren't right. We need an increase in the sales tax. So you approved a smaller increase. And so the numbers that were reflected on the prior resolution included that $6,000 that they had already paid. So the total project cost reported at the last meeting is accurate. That's what their total project cost is. But for the administrative fee, I forgot to add in the amount, or back out, or I should say, the amount that they had already paid post-closing.
because of an adjustment in sales, then basically.
Well, we did their final approval and then they came back and they asked for an increase. And so you approved their increase and they paid an additional 6,000 and change at that time. And then they came back this time and I missed that step in that they had already paid that 6,000 until I went back and looked at what they paid. Then I realized, oh, I didn't want to double bill on the extra 6,000. I'm sorry.
Why not?
So it's just a correction, so so the deposits that come in match up with the resolutions that you've adopted.
I move it.
I'll second it.
Moved by Craig, second by Tim.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hold on a second. I'm working on a dog call for a second.
On business. It's been going on all day. We're gonna.
This is enough to make me want to get off the frickin',
You've become the dog whisperer, my dear. Everybody knows
I know.
it's not going to stop when you're done.
And the problem is I think people dump dogs off in
Because they know
Hampton
you're-
just because of me. I'm gonna take care of the dogs. Okay. So all in favor? You abstained? Any opposed? Carried, thank you. Next is ICC 4 refinance.
They are refinancing their existing debt. This is they're taking out one of their temporary lenders and replacing it with permanent financing. This actually came before the board last year, this exact same time, right before Thanksgiving. But this is their permanent financing, I've been told. The closing is scheduled for Wednesday. They've asked us to execute a subordination of our leases in favor of their mortgage. Our lease agreement already has subordination language in it that says that the mortgage comes before our lease agreement, but they want to have that of record so it's clean. This is the exact same approval you did last year this time. I talked to George Scala, I guess it was late last week, and he told me that he wanted me to let the board know that at the last time this was presented, the board required his lender to set up a tax escrow account for the pilot payments. And this lender is also requiring an escrow account for the pilot payments. So once they close and they get their loan process, their lender will reach out to Ally to get those payments coordinated. So he wanted me to make sure you all knew that that was a condition of his financing here with this. The new lender is Quaint Oak Bank.
Huh?
Scheduled for Wednesday.
The acronym, what does that mean? ICC.
It's, I don't know what ICC stands for, but it's the Cambridge home, the home in Cambridge.
Hotel.
Yeah.
It's a.
Assisted living.
Assisted living. I don't think it out word.
And they're currently all paid off with everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I move it.
moved by Craig. Do I have a second? Second by Jenny. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Votes by Forrest, votes by George sales tax extension.
Okay, this company is actually known as Prospect Mountain Ventures. Doing business as Votes by George. He has reached out and he's requested an increase in his sales tax exemption, and the total project cost has increased to 4.5 million. It was previously 3.75 million. And he's asked to increase his sales tax amount and extend it. It actually expires, the existing authorization expires January 31st, 2023. He's requesting that it be extended until December 31st of 2024. And he has requested that the sales tax amount be increased to $100,000 in purchases. It was previously $50,000 in purchases. No, $500,000 in purchases, sorry.
Is that numbers right then? You're
It,
right?
it was 500,000 with 35,000 in exemptions. He's requested 1 million with 70,000 in exemptions
And
and an expect.
you're saying it's okay.
No, that's your decision. I mean, when I asked the reason, you know, why it's products are being delayed, increased costs, unforeseen circumstances going into the construction modifications. But he's behind schedule.
I'll put it on the floor and I'll move it.
Moved by Nick. Do I have a second?
Yes. I'll second.
Second by Tim. Discussion?
Have they started anything there yet?
He has started. If you look up, there's signs up there with the forum and votes by George. He just said that costs got out of control and during the pandemic, they couldn't get supplies and stuff. Prices gone up. He had originally looked at about $2 million for the project. He's up to $4 million now.
Well, his excuses are the same as everybody else in this world. So are there any other reasons why we shouldn't do this?
Because he's already purchased the building.
Already purchased a building. He's in,
See boats stored around.
yeah. Any other comments, questions? Call for a vote then. All in favor?
Whoop,
What?
could be both. Numbers, big numbers.
These are minority numbers compared to other things we deal with.
Dave, I have a
I'll do a roll call. Yes.
You know, who audits this in terms of whether these are actual expenses? Because, you know, doubling is the amount of exemption. There's some prices have gone up, no, big double.
I think the amount of work was more than he thought.
Pardon me?
I think the amount of work was more than he thought.
I don't know in this particular case, but what we generally hear is people miscalculate at the beginning. And they say that, you know, based on their project budgets, they just kind of threw out a number and it wasn't really accurate. I mean, that's what we see a lot of times. So when they at the end of the year, they're required to report to tax and finance of the exemptions. You have a right in all of the closing documents to request backup information concerning all the purchases made if you choose to do that.
So he's extending it to the end of 24. So he's wanting 2 more years basically to complete the project.
That was the request that was made.
And
I mean, you could authorize it for 1 year and have him come back if he needs it extended. Again,
And he's on a property pilot,
yes.
Yes.
so he's paying on base now and that top clock is ticking.
His clock is ticking as far as, yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing 50%,
Mhm.
so on. Okay.
We can amend it for only 1 year only.
Right, you could extend, it expires January 31st of next year, so you could extend it through December 31st of next year, and then if he needs to extend it again, then he could come back
Now,
next
let's
year.
do
this
that.
time.
I'll amend that.
Motion by Nick to amend it. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Tim? All right, on the motion to amend the date,
December 31st.
December 31st, 2023. All in favor?
Yeah.
Back to the original motion, roll call.
Craig Leggett.
Yeah.
Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
Mike Wild.
Yes.
Jenny Sullivan.
Yes.
Juan Gonzalez.
Yes.
Mary King.
Yes.
Nick Amato.
Yes.
Dave O'Brien.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
in response to the question about who audits these things, they supply documents, don't they? With what they've spent, and that's all part of our Harris reporting. isn't it?
They provide a report to tax and finance, and they're required to simultaneously submit it to the IDA, showing the expenses that they've made. In the past, when the expenses have what they have indicated, they had asked for additional information. I don't believe as far as that only the form is required to be submitted to.
Okay,
I mean, it would be up to tax and finance to ask for more information. When I received them, I just saw that they remain under what's been approved. If that's fine.
schedules. Okay. Other item businesses, we are starting work on the website. Finally got to the point where we're ready to start work on the website, so we already proved that when we did an RFQ months ago. So we're just starting this project. Okay. Anything else come before the board?
Staff report.
I don't see it on the agenda.
Okay.
I'm following the agenda. All right, go ahead.
Okay, just very brief updates since our last board meeting. I attended on this October 19th, the ARC Business Expo at Queensbury Hotel. Then the next day on the 20th, Center of Economic Growth had a workforce meeting at Queensbury Hotel, which I attended also with Laura Oswald from Washington County. Skipping along here, we've already talked about the master planning. There on October 29th, there was a kickoff meeting for what is being called the Warren Washington Strategic Economic Alliance, which includes the IDA, ARCC, EDC, and Washington County Economic Development and LDC to start discussing common issues and advocating on common issues and working together on issues where it makes sense to work together. We're going to meet together every 6 months. Then on October 29th, I attended the Warren County EDC second quarter economic update presented by Jem Siplon, and he presented some very interesting statistics on what's happening in our region. On October 28th, we finished a new access to the Canal Side Park. We now have access through East Street. And that's very important for our new tenant, Our Electric. It's easier access from where they're located right down the street from the exit.
One note on that, go ahead.
So is that coming up through the WCC land off of East?
No, it's coming through just before the bridge. There's an exit east for construction.
Okay.
And that's only for Our Electric at this point. It's not an open invitation. Anyone wants to use it.
That, we put it's already a locked gate And so we added our lock. And now there's either Canal Sat or Canal Corp or IDA lock to get through that gate, which our electric has access. On moving along on November 3rd, we met with the Glens Falls IDA to talk about opportunities to work together. More to come on that. We should start kickoff week. Then also on October 3rd or November 3rd, we had our kickoff meeting concerning the updated website. Then on November 8th, I attended the ARC Women Business Council panel on alternative financing. Other panelists include Capital Bank, Rexford Commercial Capital, and Pursuit Lending. And we were a panel to talk about alternative lending to the group. It was a very nice, very active discussion. Then on November 10th, I attended the IDA Academy in Utica. There were several topics, a full day of meetings. I won't go through everything, but I'll go through those 5 main topics. As Paris reporting. Then there's ABO compliance. The message there was follow your mission, follow your bylaws, and follow your policies. And as you know, we are currently working on an update to the bylaws and the policies, which bodes well. One thing to also talk about the Academy is to make sure you take a look at those every year, and as we are doing this year. There's also IDA operation. One of the things was website, and it talked about website not only making sure it's fit for compliance purposes, but also for marketing. And now we're working on our website. Well, of course, we already are very good with our compliance, but we're looking to update the marketing component of our website. And the recommendation, by the way, from the group was to use a third party and not to try to do it yourself. Use the experts was the message. The 4th area was site development. One of the presenters on the panel was responsible for the Micron Technologies, the chip manufacturing now being done out in central New York. And the big question that they had, and it's a similar question that we have, is if you have a large parcel, do you retain it for one large tenant or do you break it up for multiple tenants? Classic question. And of course, there are pros and cons each way. And then the 5th topic was project financing. Chris Canada of Halgren Russ, who is also our bond counsel, was there. He was on the panel and did a great job talking about the variety of tax exempt bonds. One point he made that if properly issued, the interest will be exempt not only for New York State tax, but for federal taxes. So that gives a real powerful tool for IDAs when you can also structure the tool for federal tax exemption. That's a very quick summary of the Academy. Again, it was a full day. Any questions about the Academy? Okay.
Question about Glens Falls. Did you find that positive?
The meeting was very positive. It was, there were 4 of us, and yes, and I think part of it is because there's a pre-existing positive relationship. The idea of working together was positively received. Great. Then finally, there was a governance committee meeting on the 17th as we start working on the update to the bylaws and policies. And that's it for me, unless there are any questions. Thank you.
Questions? Just a note, I did send out rewrites of the policies, the bylaws, and the UTEP. We'll discuss them in the next meeting. So we'll go from there. Again, the UTEP, it's been 20 some odd years since it's been redone. And there's a lot of updating that's taking place. Anyone's got any questions, please feel free to call me or Kara or Chuck, but I've been working on this for 2 years, so.
I think that meeting should be a meeting of only that. I think, I'm saying this, but pick a place, have a sandwich, and we should spend the day or the afternoon or whatever it takes to do that the right way. Just focus on that and nothing else.
We can, I would object to someplace for a sandwich. It has to be an official public place where anyone's invited.
I'm just saying we need to talk about that project, that topic only.
The UTEP? The UTEP?
And the whole policy.
So the policy, there's very little changes. For the policy manual, what the real change in the policy manual is we took all the UTEP stuff out of it and put it in its own thing. So as far as changes to the policy, if you look at, there's not really that much that's different.
Okay.
The bylaws, again, there was some changes, but no major changes. So most of the changes were in the UTEP itself. So. Okay,
I had my comment.
you had your comment. We'll take it under advisement.
Thank you, sir.
Do you want to do a resolution to authorize you to re-notice the CVE public hearing?
I need a motion to renotice the CVE public hearing.
Move.
Moved by Nick. Do I have a second? Second by Mike. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Carried.
I have a motion, and we all have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
That's a great motion. So with that, we're adjourned. I got some things to discuss with you.
Nick, you're so good at that. Why don't you just join this board again? Maybe we can get through our meetings.
I'm gonna wipe this out and change it, but then you won't have to sign it again.
Okay.